Hello everyone, welcome to Royal Palace online crash course. Today I am going to discuss Newton's laws of motion. So you already know Newton's first law defines force. In this Newton's laws will study about one physical quantity called force. We will find the address of that physical quantity. Newton's first law defines force, second law calculates force, and third law gives the direction of force. So according to Newton's first law, every body continues to be in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line until and unless an external force acts on it. So formula for force is given by Newton's second law. According to Newton's second law, force is equal to rate of change of momentum. Now you should know what is momentum. Momentum is equal to, it is a physical quantity which is product of mass and velocity. It is a vector quantity. Now how to find change in momentum? Change in momentum, for that we will take one example. Let us take a fixed wall. On this fixed wall, a particle is hitting. It is traveling with a velocity v. It hits this wall here, then again bounce back like this with the same speed. Bounce back with same speed. Then what is the change in momentum in this case? So here we can take an angle normal to the wall as theta. If you write this momentum in coordinate axis, so this is the direction of initial momentum. So this is the direction of initial momentum, P initial. This is the direction, because momentum direction will be in the direction of velocity. Now this angle I took it as, so according to the question, with normal means this angle I took it as theta. If this angle is theta, this angle is also theta. Now this I can resolve. This is in which quadrant? 1, 2, 3 and 4th quadrant it is there. So P initial is equal to mv cos theta I cap along x axis, it is positive, minus mv sin theta j cap, because in 4th quadrant y component is negative. Next, after colliding with the wall, this particle travelled in this direction, travelled along 3rd quadrant. The angle made, this angle is theta. So again you can write P final is equal to, in this quadrant both x and y both are negative, minus mv cos theta I minus mv sin theta j. Okay. Now find change in momentum. Change in momentum is P final minus P initial. Minus P initial will be, this will be minus mv cos theta I plus mv sin theta j. If you add these two, this one will get cancelled. So change in momentum delta P is equal to minus 2mv cos theta I cap. Change in momentum is only along x axis, it is opposite to the direction of its motion, and it is minus 2mv cos theta. So like this you have to calculate change in momentum. Change in momentum, if you divide by time, you will get force. So force formula is F is equal to ma, or force formula is final momentum minus initial momentum by time taken. You can also write F is equal to dp by dt. This I can write it as dm by dt into u plus m into du by dt, and one more formula, F is equal to m into v square minus u square by 2a. And next, any other formula can you get? This is the formula for force, and force coming out from a pipe, from a jet of water, it is a rho v square. If it is bouncing back, it is F is equal to 2a rho v square, where v is the velocity of water, rho is the density, area is the area of the pipe. So these are all the formulas of formula of force. This formula of force we will get from Newton's second law. So first law defines force, second law calculates force, and third law gives the direction of force. So Newton's second law appears to be very simple, but its application is very difficult. Let us take connected bodies and we will see how we will apply Newton's laws. Connected bodies. I will take one example, then remaining whatever may be the case, you have to follow the same method. Let us take two bodies m2 and m1 are connected by one thread or one string. Let us assume that I applied force on F, applied force F on m1. Now what happens? Here you have to take the consideration of Newton's third law. I applied force on m1, m1 moves in this direction. When m1 moves in this direction, you can observe here m1 is attached to m2, so it can't come alone because it has to carry m2 also. So what m1 will do, it applies a force called tension. The force developed in the strings is called tension. It pulls m2 with tension T. Now what m2 will do, according to Newton's first law, it has inertia. So this is action and it will give the reaction. So here all Newton's three laws we are applying here. The use of Newton's three laws is only to find the forces. So in this chapter what we will find is, we will find address of force. What is force, how to calculate force, what is the direction of force. So here when I apply force F on m1, m1 pulls m2 with tension T, and similarly m2, what m2 will do, it is having inertia, so it gives opposing force. So if you draw free body diagram FBD, you can take m1. For m1, what are the forces acting? So for m1, if it is on the ground, mg will act, normal direction will act upwards, that is not required here. We will take in the site of our motion, m1 has a force F towards right side, and there is a reaction force given by m2, tension, towards this direction. Now let us consider system is accelerating in this direction. According to Newton's second law, the body will accelerate in the direction of net force. So if you apply F minus, F should be greater than T, that is why it is moving towards right side. When it is moving towards right side, what you have to understand is F is greater than T. It is just like tug of war. So if this force is more, body will move this side. If this force is more, body will move that side. So F minus T is equal to m1a. Now just draw free body diagram for m2. For m2 also you draw the free body diagram. For m2, if you draw free body diagram, what are the forces acting on m2? You can observe here, forces acting on m2 is tension acting towards right side. Now here you will get the doubt. First case I took tension towards left side, second case I am taking tension towards right side. That is how you have to apply Newton's laws here. See here, this tension is the reaction force given by m2. m2 pulls m1 in this direction. Here m1 pulls m2. Why m2 is moving? Because of the pulling force given by m1. Here why I am taking this side, because m2 pulls back, because it shows the inertia and it pulls back. So from this case both system is accelerating in this direction, both the bodies are accelerating in this direction. So I can write m2a is equal to tension. Now add two equations, you will get acceleration is equal to F by m1 plus m2. Similarly, if you take Atwood machine, what happens here is, similarly if you take Atwood machine, there will be a pulley whose mass is neglected and two bodies are hanging of mass m1 and m2. If we consider m2 is greater than m1, this system will accelerate in this direction. Now see the direction of tension here. Their direction of tension for first body and second body, they are in opposite direction. Now let us observe what happens here. So some people get confused while taking the direction of tension. Here tension is a reaction force, based on the condition direction will change. So I assumed that m2 is greater than m1, so m1 will move down. Observe here, m1 moves down. When m1 moves down, it is attached to, sorry, m2 moves down, it is attached to m1. So tension T, it will pull m1 with tension T. Similarly, m1 opposes its movement because it has inertia. Inertia is the inherent property of body by virtue of which it opposes the change in its state of rest or of uniform motion. So it opposes to change itself. For that reason only we will apply force. Body in rest want to be in rest only. So to make it into motion we have to apply force. From that only we are getting force, and force is proportional to mass. If mass is more, force required is more, inertia is more. So this body says I will not move. For that reason it applies force on m2. So this is the condition. Now you can observe here tension is in same direction. If you observe in this case, tension for first body towards right, second body towards left, that is concept is same. The thing is, if you draw free body diagram for m2g, for m2 if you draw free body diagram, m2g will be acting down according to gravitation, earth pulls downwards, and tension T will be acting upwards. Now I assumed that system is moving in this direction, therefore this must be greater than tension. So what equation you will get, m2g minus T is equal to m2a. Now you draw free body diagram for m1, and let's observe what happens here. m1, for m1 also m1g will act down, because earth always attracts every body on its surface towards its center. Now this is tension. Now let us see what happens here. Now according to my condition, m2 moves down, m1 should move upwards. So this is the direction of acceleration. Now what happens here? Here T must be greater than m1g. So here I can write T minus m1g is equal to m1a. Then directly you will get, if you add these two, you will get, add these two equations, m2g minus T is equal to m2a. You add these two equations, tension will get cancelled. Now acceleration is equal to what you will get, m2 minus m1. By solving this, acceleration is equal to m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into g. Same formula is used. There is one problem in your NCERT textbook which was recently asked in the exams. By using this formula, within one step you will get the answer. And this arrangement is called Atwood machine. And this is how you have to apply Newton's second law. Like this, connected bodies many are there. So remaining cases you can go through your material and you apply the same principle, you will get the answer. Next we will see the motion of the person, weight of the person in a lift. What happens to your weight when you are moving in a lift, whether your weight increases or decreases or it remains same. Let us consider a lift and a person of mass m is standing in this lift. When lift is at rest, his mass will act downwards mg. As there is a touch, we will get one reaction called normal reaction. What is the definition of normal reaction? The force which acts perpendicular to the lower surface of upper body when two bodies are in contact. Suppose this is a block, this block is resting on ground. So there is a contact between these two. Normal reaction is a contact force. Similarly, friction is also a contact force. Without normal reaction, there is no friction. If you are not touching, there is no friction. Once you touch and there is relative motion, then only you will get friction. So the lower surface, the force which is acting perpendicular to lower surface of upper body is called normal reaction. So this is a reaction force. This is action, this will be reaction. Now the person is at rest, therefore N must be equal to mg. This normal reaction is equal to mg. Now what happens to this normal reaction when lift is moving up? Next case, what happens is lift is moving up. Next case, what happens? Lift is moving up with an acceleration a. Again same story, mg will act down, normal reaction is acting up. But according to Newton's second law, if there is an acceleration in upward direction, that means N must be greater than mg. N must be greater than mg. So N minus mg must be equal to ma, because this lift is accelerating. So without difference in normal reaction, this lift cannot accelerate. So therefore N minus mg is equal to ma. This normal reaction is equal to m you can take common, m into g plus a. This is called apparent weight of the person inside the lift. So when person is moving upwards in a lift with an acceleration a, the weight of the person increases. N is equal to m into g plus a. So this formula you have to remember for your competitive exams. So if you go on remembering like this, for every connected body there is one formula. Instead of that, if you learn how to apply Newton's second law in different cases, it is better, because in this chapter many formulas are there. Here I connected two bodies. There is one more case where we will connect three bodies, and we will connect one more body on inclined plane. So many conditions are there. For that, instead of remembering the formulas, if you can make your own formula in the exam by taking 1 or 2 minutes, then it will be easy. Suppose if it is moving down, normal reaction, when it is moving down, you will get m into g minus a. If the lift is freely falling, then normal reaction is equal to 0. That means a is equal to g. If lift is freely falling, n is equal to 0. And similarly, if it is moving up with retardation, m into g minus a you will get. If it is moving down with retardation, m into g plus a you will get. So these are the some of the applications of Newton's second law, and we will see the applications of Newton's third law in our next video. Thank you for joining me. If you have any doubts or any comments, you can comment in the comment section. If you have any doubt, you can write there. I will explain in my next class. Thank you once again.